Welcome back to my channel. So if you guys are new here, my name is Kamalani and this is my husband Kaloni. And how you pronounce his name is Kaloni. It's funny because when people meet him for the first time, they're like, "Hey Kaloni," they don't know how to pronounce it. I feel like I should do like a big drum roll for you because you're never on camera. Like, anyways. Before we jump in, you guys know the drill. Make sure you subscribe and hit that bell notification so you'll get notified every time we upload. Better yet, we upload every single week, sometimes 2 times a week. Let's jump into it. So if you don't already follow me on Instagram, I'll do our tags right here. I asked some Q&A or what questions people have for us. And we're gonna do a whole entire love series with like how we first met, first kiss, proposal. And so you guys, going into this video, you're gonna know and you're gonna see I talk more, I'm louder, and he's more quiet and reserved.
She does enough for the both of us.
So rude. But this is why you don't see Kaloni a lot on camera, because if he doesn't want to film, then he doesn't have to film. And so, well, do you first want to say where you're from?
So I'm originally from Maui, in Kihei specifically. Okay.
And I am from Utah. I'm from Salt Lake City. I'm not as interesting as you are. I'm from Utah. It's so cool. Okay, let's jump into it. So somebody asked, what's your guys' pet peeve?
This is a safe zone here, so whatever you say won't hurt.
No, I know. I'm just trying to think of it. Okay, pet peeve. He forgets a lot. He forgets a ton. Bless his heart. But that's okay because he has a lot of great attributes. But I'll tell him something and then he'll come downstairs and he'll just like look at me. I'm like, "Did you grab it?" He's like, "Grab what?" I'm like, I just told you to grab that."
It's hard to remember everything.
Yeah, it's true.
Pet peeve.
I'm not perfect. Nothing annoys you? People are gonna be like, "Are you kidding me right now?"
Oh, I know what a pet peeve of mine is.
Oh, don't be so excited.
And I don't even know if this is considered a pet peeve, but she loves popcorn. Loves popcorn. And she'll have like air pop popcorn almost like every night. And we'll be watching like a movie or something, or maybe not even a movie on, and all I just hear is.
Okay, wait. First off, I don't. No. First off, I do not know. You're acting like I chew with my mouth open. I would love for you to film me all day, and if I am chewing with my mouth open, I'll stand corrected. Babe, popcorn is loud. When you eat it, popcorn's loud. But I'm not an animal.
When people eat around me, I just like, and I hear that chewing, it drives me nuts.
Yeah. 9 months pregnant, eating some ice because that's the only thing that felt good. And he was like, "Can you stop eating that ice?"
And then it made me feel bad. So
next question is, how do you guys keep the spark alive?
I think it's important, and I think what we do, or we've been trying to do more lately, because everything's just so crazy with 2 kids under 2, is just trying to make what we do here in our home fun between each other. Just keeping things playful and laughing.
Even though you don't like to laugh a lot.
I laugh on the inside.
I'm so funny and he never laughs at me. I think also too is that we make sure there's time for like individual time separate, and then we also make sure we make time for each other. So the kids go to bed at 7, they sleep from 7 to 7, and then we get about an hour to ourselves. I take a bath, I watch a show, he plays some games, like we just kind of do our own thing. And then we always make sure after that hour we come together and hang out, whether it's watching a movie or chatting. And we always take time to chat at night before we go to bed. And we go to bed together too, which is, I think, really important. Because to me, if someone's downstairs and you're upstairs and you guys are going to bed separate, there's zero connection. And so physical touch is a really important thing. I'm not saying you guys have to go at it every single day. That anyone, your mother, your father, your best friend, your coworker, anyone can make you a sandwich, anyone can clean your house, anyone can buy you a materialistic item and drop it off, but only your spouse can, you know, hug you, kiss you, and hold your hand, things of that sort. So I think it's important that there's always physical touch, and you're really good about that, like holding my hand, giving me a kiss. How did you guys decide to live in Utah versus Hawaii?
Money.
It's expensive to live there.
Because you get a shack there and it's like $1 million, and it's there's like no roof, pretty much, like dirt floors, and it's like $1 million.
Yeah, it's pretty expensive. Did either of you guys play sports growing up? I danced. my whole life. And so I was on a competitive drill team here in Utah. Drill team is it, what's like normal drill team outside of Utah? Is it like the guns? Like the flags? Like they dance on the field with flags, don't they? Like the drill team?
I never grew up with knowing, I don't even know what drill team was till I met you.
Oh, okay. Well, I think that's what a normal drill team is, but here in Utah, it's just a very competitive dance team. Like you have to try out, and then once you're on the team, you still have to try out to even be on the floor and compete, and you do competitions with all other schools. And so
I played a lot of sports growing up. Mostly it was like football, wrestling, and track. That was like my main sports that I played. Yeah, and I played football in college.
At University of Oregon. Favorite quality about each other?
I would say my favorite quality that you have is your passion. Like you're super passionate about certain things and things that you love, and you just are like gung-ho about them. Really cool to see passion in the things you do, because not everyone can just grind out and do the things that you do. You know, you're really passionate about like our family. It reflects in all aspects of our life, and I see it.
Well, thanks. I think that my favorite quality about you is that you're very giving and you're very selfless. So it doesn't matter if it's like 11 o'clock at night, if our neighbors text us to bring in their garbage cans because they're on vacation. He'll do it even if he's sick. Or my family texts him. My mom will text him out of all my brothers, 6 of them, to like come help her do things. Or my dad will do that because they just know no matter what, he's gonna do it, and he's just selfless. He has that really hard work ethic and doesn't matter. So he always puts everybody first, especially our family, which is good. You guys seem never to fight. Do you guys argue?
Never.
Every couple argues, every couple fights. Now there's a difference between toxic fighting, like screaming and yelling, and disagreements and like that kind of thing. But for us, what works for us is that we give like a 30-minute break, so we're not talking the whole day. We've set boundaries. We don't cuss, that kind of stuff at each other.
Well, the whole idea behind like the 30 minutes is just to cool down, so that way you're not saying things that you don't mean, and then
we're respectful, and we're on the same team. We've said that 1,000 times. Like we're trying for the exact same goals. We want the exact same things. That we're a team, and the sooner you realize that, and it's easier that you're not butting heads. Oh my gosh, this was asked so much. And we just had a baby. Do you guys want a third baby? Any kids?
You guys need to slow your roll.
It's like I just had him and they're like, baby number 3! It's maybe because we had Luna.
I get it, we have cute kids and all, but we ain't having kids for a little bit
right
longer.
Now. Yeah. Maybe in the future, but we would be fine if it was just 2 kids right now, but maybe in the future, 3, 4. Favorite treats or food? I love anything chocolate and peanut butter.
My favorite treat is ice cream.
And
more specifically, cookies and cream, and then yes, poke bowls.
It's something we don't know about you. I've snowboarded my whole life, but I don't think a lot of people. And I was on University of Oregon snowboarding team. I've had a few injuries from that. I should do a video on that, how I shattered my leg and stopped breathing and all that stuff in the hospital. It was kind of insane. If you guys want to hear that story, let me know down below.
Something people might not know, I lived in Belgium for like 5 months or something like that. I just lived in Brussels and I stayed there, studied abroad for 5 months. I had to travel all over.
Okay, best advice for someone who's wanting to get married.
I would say
you have to first love yourself before you get in a serious committed relationship and get married, because I know this sounds really awful. Dad always told me is that he can't promise that I'm going to get married. He can't promise that my husband's never gonna leave me. He can't promise that my husband is not going to die or my husband's going to provide for me. And so that really just struck me when I was in the dating world and I wasn't in a relationship. So I made sure before I got married that I always could provide an income for myself, that I got an education, and that I love myself, and mentally I can fulfill myself, that if something were to happen to Kaloni and he would no longer be in the picture, that I'm not reliant on him for my mental health or my emotional health or any of that kind of sort. And so I would say you have to love yourself first, and then have your husband or partner or wife or whatever spouse come in and make sure that you're happy whether they're in there or not.
That's good advice. You don't have to rush to get married.
No,
You know?
all 4 seasons.
Yeah, like there's
Because we dated how long? 3.5 years?
Yeah, we dated for quite a while. Like, go through some hard times. If you're just in the high point, you're like, yeah, let's get married. Like, sounds bad. Like, make sure you guys go through some hard times. Like,
difficult times.
That way you guys know how each other works and how you guys can handle it and work through those problems if you guys are good at it.
Yeah.
And if it's worth working through those problems or not. Like,
I firmly believe that you should go through all 4 seasons with somebody and you should travel with someone, because it's not how someone treats you when things are happy and good. It's how they treat you afterwards when you're in a disagreement or argument. That's what really matters, because everyone's going to argue. And honestly, and this may be too much, but we dated 3.5 years and we went through a lot of different growing pains. Because we are 2 completely different cultures, and truthfully, I think we would have ended in a divorce if we got married our first year. If we got married when we're at those highs, and then we went through like all our growing pains and trying to learn of each other, different cultures, the way everything, I really think we would have gotten in a divorce. So a lot of times my parents have always said divorce is never an option, and I honestly hate that saying, hate it, because to me it's basically saying that you can treat or do whatever you want and there's no way out, which we don't agree with that at all. There's certain things that, yes, divorce would be an option if there's a physical abuse or infidelity or anything like that, but I can't treat you and you can't treat me however we want to and say whatever we want to and just not help out or not date each other or any of that sort and expect the other person to stick around. Now we're going into marriage advice, but that's okay. Okay, and the last question was, and I think this is probably more for me, but we'll just change it a little bit. Was it hard adapting to the Polynesian culture with Kalani? So, like I was saying, we had a lot of culture differences, and so this is for you too. I mean, the Hawaiian culture is just so different than, in a good way, just so different than my culture. And there's like a lot of things we had to bring up of where we wanted to live, how we wanted to raise our kids, where we wanted to raise our kids, names, because Hawaiian names are totally different than white names. But I would say at the beginning it was hard, just because I didn't know it. For example, one simple thing is like Utah, not everyone takes off their shoes entering into a house. So a lot of my siblings will walk into the house wearing their shoes with my mom. But in your culture, that's like a big deal. You take off your shoes.
Shoes stay outside the house, at the door.
It's like a respect thing, and
yeah, you're just not trying to track in what you bring from outside and keep someone's home clean and stuff like that. And I think that's so weird. And even like calling adults like by their first name, you know. When
you call someone Mr. and Mrs., that's like sir, ma'am, that's like a respect thing. In your culture, it's auntie or uncle.
Right. Yeah, you don't usually call. Very rarely would you ever call someone by their first name. It's just out of respect and like.
Which was so weird to me.
Yeah.
Because I remember you telling me to call some of the people in your family auntie or uncle, and I'm like, but they're not my aunt and they're not my uncle. Like, why would I call them auntie or uncle? Or another thing is going in. It doesn't matter if there's 5 people or there's like 30 people in a group setting. You go and say hello to every single person, and then you say goodbye to every single person. And that to me was really intimidating, even though I'm really like loud and outgoing. To go up to somebody you don't know and you just say hi and give them a kiss, and especially when it's a huge group you don't know. So that was totally different for me. So it was just like a big learning curve. But now I feel like I get the gist of
you know what it's like.
The Hawaiian culture, and I love it. It's so great, and I love the aloha spirit, and I want my kids so badly to be raised up in that. Basically, we keep our house Hawaiian. We do a lot of the Hawaiian attributes, food, the music.
The music.
I mean, a lot of things. Like, we basically live a Hawaiian house, but we're not in Hawaii. Anyways, this video is probably already way too long. And so thanks for watching so much, you guys. We really appreciate it. And we will see you next time.
See you.